All right. Last year, big old concern was a secondary. So why don't we start right there? Because I think this is the no-fly zone.
Yeah, I mean, from zero to hero right now. Like, this is, went from, like you said, being a slight concern to now this is what I feel the strength of the defense.
What does Cam Calhoun do for this defense in this aspect? You got Zabien and Domani playing corner. Great. And then they're going to be your ones.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to work in Cam Calhoun. You're going to have Dijon Lee and Chuck McDonald on the side. You got Deshaun Jones on the side also. Playing Husky, but, in and out right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what you've got in Zabien and Domani, great, 1 and 1A, right?
Sure.
Okay, one gets tired, they come off the field, Cam goes right on the field. You're not having to turn, right? Like, we're all excited about Dijon Lee. We're all excited about Chuck McDonald. We are. And
Sure.
they look, I mean, at least Dijon.
Awesome.
Dijon, we've seen him in person, looks like a cyborg. Looks like just built out of a lab. How do I want to make a cornerback? Dijon Lee spit out of the printer. Okay. Sure. We're excited. But we have seen Cam Coleman play corner at the college level.
Mm-hmm.
PFF, I believe, has him as the 10th best college corner, returning from last year. Obviously at Utah last year, right?
And he was good at Utah last year.
That's what I said. 10th best.
Was good at Utah. The bit that I watched and highlights, so take it with you, Will.
Sure.
But take it as you will. But, man, like, impressive. And then we saw him at A-Day a little bit, Again, take that with a grain of salt, but like looked the part, looked very, had long arms, super athletic, like really
fluid.
Yes, moves very smoothly. Yeah, I'm very impressed with him. I think he will only get better now that he's here.
So that's the setup, Mason Woods. How important? What the value of Cam Calhoun?
Sure.
Allowing you to say, Dijon, that was a bad rep. Come off the field. Let's talk about it. So you're not stuck out there over and over and over. The freshman spinning. Yep. Like Zabien, sorry, buddy. Last year you just had to suck it up and deal with it. You're out there, and we saw a heavy rotation from the defensive backs last year. Zabien Brown, Domani Jackson. We saw Jalen and Blockway getting time, and who am I missing? I'm missing 2 or 3 others, really. You saw a lot heavy rotation, but still it was, we're starting a freshman. Hope he does good. I think that the Cam Calhoun ad gives a long runway for Dijon Lee and say, you are ready. Get out there and go lock somebody down.
Yeah, I think so too. And, I would imagine Cam Calhoun came into this situation kind of knowing like, hey, I'm not going to be the 1 or 2 guy. I am going to be kind of this third guy behind Zabien and Domani. And, and I think it gives him an opportunity because he's still a younger. I mean, he's only a sophomore, right? He spent 1 year at Utah.
It's fun though.
So I'm pretty sure he is. Regardless, it gives him time to play in that third role this year, and then if the cards play out this way, he has an opportunity to take over next year as kind of a number 1 guy with Dijon Lee or Chuck McDonald as the other guy.
He's a redshirt sophomore. He spent 1 season at Michigan and redshirted, transferred to Utah, played for 11 games, and then transferred.
So I think it's extremely valuable just to not have to, to not be forced to throw a freshman out there if, like you said, Zabien or Domani just can't go for a couple plays. You now have a guy who at least has collegiate experience and has put very good things on tape.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.